y'all, welcome back to the ministry. I have a couple of short words for y'all. I'm coming back to continue that word that I was frustrated on the other day, where you saw me, I had on the black. Yeah, it's probably going to come right back behind this word, or that word. But remember I was talking about the wallet. God got a sense of humor that he manages to bring something into full circle, that he makes a point that I thought I was just talking about a wallet because that was just, I was pissed off that day and wanted to just talk about a wallet. Well, the next morning, I was watching a court case on television. God is bringing these things before himself as the judge and jury, okay? And this woman explains in the court case, oh, well, see, the guy, I found his wallet. She found his wallet. And she goes and brings him the wallet back, okay? Now, if you paid attention to the word I told you, go watch the one about Stephanie P. on a witchcraft. That they will do witchcraft to items, right? So she said, oh, I just took the wallet back to him. Okay. And then he called me and wanted to spend time with me. And the judge even said, but you knew the man was married. You knew the man had this. You knew the man. And she was like, well, he came and I went to the hotel with him. And she was expressing all this kind of stuff. And she was talking about, oh, well, I just couldn't stop because when he came back to me, I had let him go. But when he came back to me and he did something. And she was like, oh, well, I felt like I should go back to him. Let me explain something to you. This woman was literally talking about she was in love with his, you know what. If we all recall, remember that old Beyonce song where it said, she gonna get the cars, the house, and I know that you gonna give it to her like you was giving it to me. You remember that? You remember that part? And Ring the Alarm? You gonna give it to her like you was gonna give it to me, and I couldn't stand the thought of it. Should I leave it there? I'm not gonna leave it there. Okay? So this man, right, was going through this with this woman. This is what these witches are doing. The witches, they knew they wanted the bag. They wanted this man's money. They wanted this man's wallet. They wanted to get access to the money, the clothes, the cars, the this. Stephanie talks about that in that witchcraft word if you watched it. They wanted the access because they knew that the man would give it to them. So they lured him with a trap. The clothes. They put an enchantment over him. They did all of this kind of stuff. But when the man figured out, I'm going to talk about another court case that happened. If I find the clips of this, I will show you how this was insane. You will watch it and you will be like, oh my God. There was a woman who went on Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. It was a couple. The man had to fake, okay? He had to literally fake his death. He called and told the woman that he'd committed suicide under a false voice, trying to get away from her. Do you understand? And the judge is literally sitting there saying, wait, so you were with her? And he said, I wasn't even really with her. I talked to her. I didn't really get into a relationship where it's like, well, you were in a relationship? And then he was saying like, I mean, we talked, but I wasn't nothing serious going on with this individual. Woman sitting there telling the judge, oh, we was together. He told me he loved me. He took me to the park and proposed to me. God says, I did not propose to this woman. I don't know what she's talking about. She couldn't produce one photo of this man having proposed to her at all from anywhere. She said he took me to the park. He proposed. It was a silent, intimate moment. It was just the two of us. Couldn't produce nothing. If this was truly a moment that the two of y'all wanted to share, you didn't want to take a photograph of that? Not even on your own camera phones to show that you had the engagement ring on and all this? It's nowhere. And she said there, and she's like, I got the engagement ring. And it's like, the judge looks at him like, okay, she got an engagement ring. He said she bought that engagement ring herself. She said, come on, let's go to the store one day. I think we're going jewelry shopping. She tells me when we get to the jewelry store, she's like, babe, you like these rings? And I say, yeah, sure, whatever. And she goes and buys herself a $2,000 engagement ring for herself. I didn't buy that ring. And the judge looks at her. She's like, well, he said, I was going to buy it and then he was going to pay me back for it later. He said, no, I didn't. And then, continuation, he sits up there and she says, oh, well, I took him to wedding venues, and the judge looks at him. You went to wedding venues? He said, no. She said, come get in the car. I was like, okay. We're going somewhere. She drove. We got to this location, and she's telling me that, oh, wouldn't you love this location if we were going to do anything, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't paying that woman no attention like that. And the judge looks at the woman, and she's like, well, I did. I mean, I was planning, but did he know? She does did he know? What were you doing? Some of these women were like that. Last case I'm going to give you. Had to put this in here. God confirms with everything. This morning, my dad was watching Couples Court with the Cutlers, and I hate watching that show. I'm going to be honest with you. I hate it because I don't like cheating, lying, all that kind of stuff, but Dad made me watch it, okay? There was this person, the couple was in front of them, and the husband was saying, I can't stand this woman. This woman is crazy. She won't let me go anywhere. She won't let me do anything. She will not let me do anything. I can't move around the house. I have to be within her eyesight at all times. She needs to know where I'm at, where I'm going. If I'm out of her eyesight, I must be cheating, and blah, 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 blah. This is how this woman operates. Won't let him have any air or any space.